take it out of space. Drop that bass in your face. Pick it back up, put it on the turntable, and drop that bass in your face. MCs wrapping it up with the tight production. Right off the rip, getting into something. Licking shots, triggering samples. Get the kettle on, I'm off the handle. Loud and rowdy, no further questions. Lighten up another kicking session. Whoa! Got two jobs, blow up and blow speakers, make beats and get your artist featured. Stack up drums, 2 pairs of fresh kicks. How many lumps do you want for your first hit? Sarcastic magic, beats above average, make a mental note. Get your head examined, sample my voice, royalty free. But your fire ain't enough to boil me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Ace, and this is the KicknIt podcast. This is a bonus episode. This is a continuation of one of our last bonus episodes. This is Kicking It Off the Clock, and we have Marshe back with us. How are you doing this evening, Marshe?
Pretty normal.
I guess in today's world, pretty normal is a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing. The last time we were talking, we were discussing relationships, and one thing that where we left off, I felt like it was a good stopping point is that we talked about when you felt like you had everything, that's when you felt the worst.
Correct.
Elaborate on that a little bit more.
So I feel like from childhood, you're kind of conditioned into believing like, hey, these are the things that will make you feel happy and successful in life if you achieve them through your adulthood. So it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, you want to settle down and get married and have kids and build together and get the house, get the car, have the career, like do it all. Like this is the blueprint for success to make sure that you're happy. And I fed into it. And I fed into it. So since childhood, I definitely was striving to get those things. Like, oh, okay, well, at some point I'm going to have to find the husband, or hopefully he finds me, and we're going to settle down and we're going to have kids, and I'm going to have this awesome career that I just adore. We're going to get this nice house, and I'm going to have a dream car, and we get to live happily ever after. Sounds like such a beautiful fairy tale.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
Like such a beautiful fairy tale. And I got it. Now, it wasn't exactly how society told me to get it, but hey, I put numbers on it like, hey, by this age, I'm going to make sure I have this. In this age, I'm going to make sure I have this. And then it became like a little checklist. Got to have this, got to have this, got to have this. And yeah, I achieved it all right before I turned 30. And so for me, it's just like, oh my gosh, I did it sort of, kind of, but eesh. This isn't what happiness should feel like.
Right.
It became one of those situations where you ever pull up to the house and you just sit outside for a second, not because you're just tired, but because it's just like, oosh, once I walk into this house, it's going to be another thing. And I just know how it's going to make me feel. I don't know if I'm going to go to bed upset, angry. I don't know if this other person is going to rub me the wrong way. Like, and I found myself doing that too many times to the point where it's just like, if I'm going to be so hesitant to go in the house, I might as well just stay at work a little longer. As a teacher, it's not like I'm going to get paid for it, but now, hey, I'm leaving work later just so that I can have a quote unquote reason why I'm not pulling up at the house and going inside. And it's just like, okay, maybe something needs to change in this situation. How do I go about changing it? I have no idea, but something got to give because I worked hard for it, got what I felt like I was working hard for, and I felt like I missed key steps in it because I was just looking at the finishing goals. Like, it's like, oh, well, I have to have this. So it was things that I should have been paying more close attention to that I wasn't because I was looking for the forest. Like, I wasn't paying attention to the trees. So all in all, it was definitely eye opening. And when we fast forward, I'm kinda happy that it did happen when it did happen. Like,
Mm,
I'm happy that I didn't spend a longer amount of my time chasing that quote unquote "dream life" or fairy tale.
uh-huh.
That it happened when it happened. So it's just like, okay, now take a step back, learn from what happened so that you don't repeat the same thing.
Yeah. And that's deep. I mean, that is honestly real. I mean, I can't relate to that perspective. I've never been married. But just in that sense, let me ask you this. Do you think that because you set those goals in your head of those milestone ages that, hey, I got to do X, Y, Z before this age, do you think that that forced you to, I would guess, say rush into things or maybe, or even on the opposite end, settle for things just to hit that milestone?
Both of them,
Okay.
both of them. So growing up, it was one of those things that was just embedded in us, like, hey, don't be shacking up. Like,
Yeah.
if you gonna find somebody or whatever the case may be, y'all settle down, y'all do things the right way. Don't be shacking up. Where I'm not going to encourage my daughter to shack up. However,
Mm,
I do want her to get a feel for what it's like to stay with whatever individual that she feels like she wants to build a future with without feeling
mm,
like there's pressure added onto her to say, okay, you staying with him to hurry up and get married. No, stay with him
all
to
right.
see if this is something that you can do long term. Like, yeah, in the beginning, it might be little things that you just overlooking. You might not feel any type of way, but it could be something as simple as how he squeezes the toothpaste from the tube that really annoys you, or how he doesn't close his mouth while he chews and he starts talking. Like, it's little things because
Oh,
although
man.
in real relationships, let's be real, in real relationships, are there big things where it's just like, okay, we got to get over the big things? Yes. But realistically, it's those little things that's just ongoing that you like, ooh, that really irks my nerves. And then y'all 5, 10 years in it, and you realize I'm like, I've always hated the way this person does this.
Mm,
Like this is always grinding my. I accepted it in the beginning because, oh, okay, like we're going through the honeymoon stage. I shouldn't make a fuss about this.
yeah.
No, pay attention to what it is that bothers you. Don't be in a
Right.
rush because the last thing I would ever want to be in a position to do, and something I will also not want my child to ever be in a position to do, is to put yourself where you have to pay to break up with somebody because it's just like,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah.
That is the cherry on top for it just sucking all together, just having to
Mhm,
actually pay. And then not only having to pay, but if you all have significant assets, actually
mhm,
having to settle those assets or decide who gets what, or being able to split it down the middle, sell a house, um, that kind of makes things linger on. I would imagine that that's frustrating because most of the time I could think when I've broken up with exes, I'm of the mindset after we break up, you don't exist. So having to continuously have to engage with this person or have to go to court or just having to continue to talk about them or have them affecting my life, that would irritate me. So me personally, if I do get married, I want it to be just a one-time thing. I don't want to, and again, I get that things happen. Everything doesn't always happen the way we plan it, but I don't ever want to experience divorce. I mean, my father, he never really talked about it. He was married before he met my mom, and he got
mhm,
divorced. And then a few years after he got divorced, he met my mom, and they got married. And they stayed together until he passed. So
mhm.
it's one of those things to where is that I feel like that the general sense of everyone who I know that has experienced divorce, I would say if I know 10 people who've been divorced, 9 of you all have had a negative experience or a negative aspect of it that drove you crazy.
Like it gets to a point where it's just like, man, when is enough enough? Because I know what
Hmm.
vows I made. I know I said I will stick around for the better, the worse, the good, the bad, the rich, the poor. Like, I know I said this, but it should have been a couple other things that was in those vows because yeah, it is literally like two people who grew up in two different households with different mentalities, different
Mhm,
values and morals coming together to say we're now one. Like let's merge it. Maybe we take this
mm,
from what you learned, maybe we take this from what I learned and we got to make it our own and we got to figure it out amongst us
mm,
so that we can create a family and do what it is that we feel is best for that family. So it's just like
right.
having that mentality, like, oh, it has to be figured out, is a great mentality to have. A lot of people who are still married, yeah, we figured it out. Was it easy? No. Like sometimes did I like them? Absolutely not. I loved them, but sometimes I
Mhm,
just didn't like the person. But we figured out what works best for us. And for me, I had a like I said, I had a deadline. It's just like, oh,
mhm,
if we're together and we didn't did the whole dating, we in the relationship, like and we 2 years in, if you don't know at that point whether or not you want a lifetime with me, then it's okay to say you don't want it. Like
mhm,
don't try to push anything else. But because I had that deadline, I felt like it was just like it rushed things. So I wasn't able to see what life could look like in those different seasons. Like, oh, well, what does it look like when your parents are sick? How does this person respond? Or what does it
mhm,
look like when money isn't flowing the way you want it to? Or what does it look like when y'all got to pick and choose who taking off because the kids are sick? Like, it's just like, it
mhm,
was so many missed opportunities where had we given it more time, yeah, we probably would have either figured it out through marriage or we would have figured it out before we made it to the altar. Like, hey, this isn't for me. Like, nice knowing you,
mhm,
this is great, but this isn't for me. But
mhm,
as I stated in the previous one session, I'm not a person where I just cut stuff off. Like, so even when relationships do not work out, because let's be real, I be 100% of my relationships has not worked out. Like, I'm used to at the end of it being like, hey, let's have a conversation. This is what's not working out. I don't want us to walk away where we feel like we hate each other because although there were some bad memories and experiences, there were some great ones as well. Like,
mhm,
I would hope to continue whatever friendship or whatever relationship that we have outside of recognizing that just romantically involved, it didn't work out. Like us being in a physical committed relationship, that part didn't work out. Doesn't mean we can't be able to still support each other and care about each other after
right.
it didn't work out. So for a while, like I was still cool with all my ex-boyfriends. It's just like, hey, it just didn't work out. Like, hey, we tried. So
Yeah.
even now with my ex-husband, truth be told, we actually work better as parents
Mhm,
separated than we worked out. Like I can't take it from him. He's a great dad. Like he could
gotcha,
possibly be a great partner. He just wasn't the partner for me. Um,
gotcha.
and we've accepted it. It is what it is. I yeah,
Do you think, with that being said, do you think that marriage is something that you would consider in the future?
absolutely.
Okay, I gotcha.
Now it took me a minute to get there because even though I knew it was the best choice to make for us to get a divorce, still did something inside of me where it's just like, oh, eesh, that wasn't the plan. We didn't get married
Yeah.
for us not to make it. Like, and it made me
Mhm,
feel like, man, okay, this last relationship is my last relationship. I'm not doing any more relationships. Like, hey, I could go out here, I could joke, I could play, like, I could be silly, I could, like, do the regular day thing, but I don't want to take anybody seriously because my last relationship, it took a lot from me. And to
mhm,
see that it failed, it was just like, that was something for me. And it was just like,
yeah.
oh, people like, well, you gave him the papers. I know. And if I had to do it all over again, I would give him the papers still because like we just were not equally yoked. Like our
That
viewpoints on so many things were so different where it's just like we wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have.
mhm,
But it still didn't bother me that it didn't work out. Like it's just like, dang,
mhm.
bummer.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that. That's real, and it's good that you all are still able to maintain that co-parenting relationship, because I feel the one thing I do feel like is that when people have been married, I feel like that they do transition into co-parenting situations better than people who were in just a relationship and had a kid together, or, like a one night stand thing, or just, we were just messing around, because there's some bitterness there. But when it comes to marriage, it's like, well, we tried, but we both realized it didn't work. So let's make, the best situation for we still created a family. So that family's still going to exist whether we're together or not. So I do see that aspect, and that is a positive that does come out of it. But, I don't just kind of listen to you saying that, you're still friends with a lot of your ex-partners. Again, I understand why people do it. And for me, it's just, I would say people that I've dated, I haven't been in many adult relationships. My last relationship was 2016. Yeah. 2016 was my last, I would say, serious relationship where we're boyfriend, girlfriend. And that was probably the love of my life. Somebody who I saw in the 6th grade, and I said, this is going to be my girlfriend. That's going to be my girlfriend. We are going to be together forever. And never came up off that. I mean, we went to different high schools, and anytime we would come into contact, because we grew up in the same area, which we very seldomly, ran into each other. But every time I would see her, she had a mall job, and I would still get those same feelings. And then we went to college. She went to Carbondale. I went to Eastern, and we kind of reconnected. Those feelings were still the same. And then as adults, we have mutual friends, and somehow linked up, and again, just constantly pursuing her, just constantly, just not letting up. And finally everything aligned, and all right, well, let's hang out. Let's hang out. We hung out, and I think we hung out like 2 weekends in a row. And after that, I asked her would she go to a wedding with me, and she was my date for a wedding. And I think that was like no, it was like end of April 2015. After that, we were pretty much together every weekend. Anytime she was off, she was at my house. I think we spent literally every single day. Like, if she was away from me, it was an issue. And it was probably, I don't think we got into like an actual boyfriend girlfriend relationship until that August. And it was just, everything about it was life, like lining up. I had the apartment in it, the loft that I wanted, super big loft, downtown St. Louis. I had the car that I wanted. Credit was good. Made good money. I mean, for somebody that's 25, I mean, I was making close to 65, 70,000 a year, which back in those times was good. Yeah. So, I mean, I felt great. I wasn't as happy about my job, but I mean, I went and worked it. I had fun doing it. So my daughter was good. We were, my girlfriend really enjoyed being around my child, even though, I never allow Maya to be kind of around my girlfriends or to see me, in those situations. But that was one situation where is that she was around. So everything just felt good, and everything was perfect until it wasn't. And I think that I look back on it, and through therapy, I realized that a lot of that was not only just fear, but a lot of it was self-sabotaging, and also not being properly diagnosed with some mental health issues like ADHD, anxiety, really admitting that, hey, I'm autistic in a sense. I'm on the spectrum. I've always figured, that it was something that was weird, and it's always been something to where is that I don't want to purposely be like this, but it's just natural to kind of be distant or to experience feelings and then want to withdraw and not, know how to actually like accept those feelings, that they are valid, and to appreciate them and accept them just for what they are, and not necessarily overthink things too much. Your mind is constantly in overdrive. And it caused me to push, this person away multiple times, to the point to where is that over the course of, I think we were probably that following October, I just got to a point to where is that, I simply just asked her. I was tired of arguing. I was tired of going back and forth. I remember she was calling me, telling me she was excited about a job. She just got a job. And I was just like, you know what? Can you just not like call me anymore? Can we just end this? Because it's like we were
Gotcha.
arguing the week before.
Right.
And now, I I still have that text, and it literally was something that I was scared to read until I actually went through that part of therapy, which was, this past year in December, because I admitted that a lot of my relationship issues and the reason I hadn't gotten into a relationship was because I had that unresolved trauma. That was a traumatic experience for me because that was somebody who I literally was in the process of buying a ring for. And subconsciously, what I was doing was seeing how far I could push somebody before they broke.
Gotcha.
And then I went ghost. Um,
Alright.
and part of me regrets that, but again, everything happens for a reason. And I look at it like I learned a lot about myself in that. I went through years of trying to get my way back to that part of my life. And it really just not only just trying to get back to her, but trying to get back to making that kind of money. I went into a deep state of depression. And then I think a year and a half, maybe 2 years later, I lost my father. So it was just shutting off my feelings, not understanding them, and then going through therapy 6 years later, and all these feelings are coming out, and you don't know how to regulate it, how to. Everything overstimulates you. Work became an issue. My daughter, I have custody of my daughter. My daughter stays with me, so dealing with her attitude and things of that nature, it triggered me. Everything triggered me. Seeing somebody post something online that has nothing to do with me, but I simply disagree with it, triggered me. A customer questioning information that I'm telling them after they came to seek out my help triggered me. Everything. And then in I actually ended up in a relationship for the first time back in it was last year, 2025.
Okay.
And this person was, again, I don't have anything bad to say about this person. This person was a really good person. I felt like she had her own traumatic experience and issues that she had to deal with and overcome. I'm not going to really get into it, but in all honesty, if I was where I'm at now, and part of the reason why I'm at where I'm at now is because of the ending of that situation forced me to address the trauma from that past relationship with my ex 10 years ago that it was unresolved. It forced me to deal with that and accept it for what it was and learn to not necessarily live with it, but really, really accept it. And if I was at where I was at like this time last year, I don't think I would have got in that relationship. Everything about it was rushed. And
Okay.
then I just never felt like myself because I was always in kind of this mode to where is that I want to make it, I want to be a good boyfriend. I want to be a good man. I want to do everything, fix everything. I've always been somebody who wants to try to fix everything or try to make things right. And a lot of times I really cut myself short because I wasn't respecting my own boundaries. And if I would have knew back then what I knew now about myself and really put the work in, there are a lot of boundaries that I felt like were crossed in the beginning or just early on that I would have been like, you know what? No. And I would have been like, okay, I don't think this is going to work. And the thing is that I saw something that made me realize is that I'm never mad with that person and I won't ever bash that person. I really don't this is really the first time I've talked about it to anyone. I don't even think anybody realized that I was in a relationship last year, outside of the very few people that are close to me. But I'm not mad at that person, or I don't feel like any type of animosity or hate towards them. I'm more mad with myself about the lies I told to myself about this person to excuse a lot of the
Mhm.
things
Mm.
that irked
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So it really has put me in a position to where is that I really don't, being in a relationship isn't my end game right now. This podcast, finishing school, my daughter getting her into college, and
Right.
those are the things that have been driving me, and that have I focus on my mental health. And it's one of those things to where is that you actually realize to where is that you are fulfilled in a sense. Now, do I want to entertain women and talk? Yeah, that's I can't help that. I do, but I really have found myself for the first time in my really since teenage through adulthood, not really caring if I'm with somebody's daughter, because my mindset isn't to seek that out. I honestly could care less about a relationship right now. The only relationship I'm focused on is the one with myself.
Hey, and I I get it. Um,
Yeah.
and what's interesting enough, just listening to you talk, was I didn't realize how many traumas I experienced through childhood
Hmm.
until my adulthood.
Right.
Because, yeah, therapy. I will always be for therapy. I
Yes.
love I love her. And the things that she brought out of me over the years is just like, you know what? I knew it, but I didn't pay attention. I didn't dive deeper.
Hmm.
Like I didn't realize how I spent so many years just in survival mode.
Oh yeah.
It's get through the day, get through the week. Like if you can, like, hey, you can't think about the week, just get through the day. And it got me to the point where it's like, okay, now I am this person and something still feels thrown off. So it's just like
Hmm.
talking to her and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm experiencing. And she'll talk me through it. And sometimes it'll seem like it's common sense, something that I should have
Hmm.
known myself. You'd be like, you know
Well,
what? Just hearing you say it just puts certain things in perspective for me where like I'm beyond grateful for it. So
yeah.
yeah, I did not ever think I would get back to this point, but I had to be honest with myself. It's just like, okay, well, what are you doing and what do you want? And at this
Hmm.
phase in my life, yes, I do want a relationship. Like, I do want to try the whole love thing again. Like, I do want to have more kids if possible before my eggs expire. Like, um, like I recognize that it's what I want. It's just a matter of if I want it, who do I do it with?
Right.
Um,
That's the key.
and like because it's that question mark. Who makes sense in this scenario for me?
Hmm.
And there's this guy that I have been dating for months
Hmm.
now. One of the things I respect about him is because from the beginning, he said, "Hey, I do not want the representative. I want the real
Right.
you." And I was just like,
That.
"Oh, okay." He's like, "No, I don't want you to put on any type of facade to make it seem like this is what you want
Yeah.
me to believe or think." He said, "I just want the real you." And I'm looking like, "I nobody I've ever been in a relationship has just came out the gate and saw the real me. Like I'm
Yes.
a very closed off person where no, I'm going to show you bits and pieces. I'm going to show you what it is that I want you to see. Things I
Hmm.
want you to know. You sure you want the good, bad, and the ugly? Because and he was like, yes. He was like, I feel like we could do that for each other. Let's just show the real version of us, not the representative, so that we can see later on down the line, is this something that I actually want? So he been seeing the real me.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I think
mean,
he likes me.
it's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
It's
that at
not.
all.
It's not.
You you saying that really, it brings out something that I've never realized, and I had an epiphany in therapy,
Hmm.
and I literally broke down because it's kind of like you. have been searching for years trying to figure out like what the fuck is it? And in all honesty, in any relationship, any situation that I've been in has been based on a lie. And the reason I say that is because I've never told anybody this except my therapist. And that's the fact when I've been in one relationship since this ex that I really loved, and that was last year. Now I've dated women seriously. I've had multiple women that I've dated seriously and talked to for months. And each one of them, when the past comes up, some of them has been volunteered. I've purposely lied to them about my ex, stating that
Mm.
she made me insecure. She was part of the reason why we ended or why, I haven't been in a relationship. And the honest truth was the complete opposite.
Mhm. It was
It
already in
wasn't
you.
it was the complete opposite because in all honesty, sometimes I feel like that I feel naked in a sense to where that I feel like people can see through me. So I try to make a shield to hide how I really feel. And I feel like anybody that knew me knew how much she meant to me. And I went searching for her in almost every woman that I tried to date. And I had to
Oh,
make that up because
gotcha.
it would be so obvious that he still loves this girl. And I
Mhm.
had to do that because I was hiding it and it hit me. When I say it hit me and I broke down, is because like I really made something up to hide the fact that this woman that I can't even put into words how much I love this person. It made me sick. And I, I really half-heartedly was in everything that I did because I always thought about her. I always missed her. It was nothing about anybody that ever even came close to almost satisfying. And I tried really hard. And I'm not gonna say I didn't love anyone that I talked to. I did grow to love,
It's
I would
the
say in my
growing
previous relationship, yeah, I did
process.
love this person, but I was giving people half of me.
Is it?
And
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
it,
Like you're
yeah,
entertaining situations when you know you're not completely healed and over the previous
I was,
situation. And I feel
I
like
wasn't.
that's why I never had a problem with still being friends with exes. Oh no, when it's over with, it's over with. Like I'm perfectly fine with it being over with. Like so, like me feeling like I still care. It's just like, no, there's a limit to how much I care. Like, is there a way that I can still support you? You support me? Absolutely. Is there a way we can still be cordial, cool? We see each other in public. We're not walking past each other and be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Like, I'm fine with that because once the relationship is over with, I'm over it. Like, I'm over that
yeah,
aspect because, hey, that role did not work for us. Us being
mm,
boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, that part didn't work. It don't mean there's not another component of it that could work. Like, hey, maybe somewhere down the line we could be business partners. Like, I see how you
mm,
operate. Yeah, I operate. Maybe
mm,
somewhere down the line, like we could do something like things of those nature. Like, hey, everyone
yeah,
serves purpose in my life, and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not just gonna like, nope, this person it didn't work out. I'm like, no, it was something about you. You were supposed to be in my life for some reason. And sometimes we jump the gun and be like, you're in my life because we're supposed to be in a relationship. Nah, that wasn't it.
mm,
That wasn't like you served a different
yeah,
purpose. And hopefully on this journey of life, I figure out what that purpose is so that we can actually fulfill that purpose as opposed to what it is that we thought we were doing at the time we were doing it. Cause they all didn't work out for a reason.
yeah. I mean, me personally, I think I've had of all the women I've like dated and talked to, I've had three that I've reached back out to.
Hmm.
One, my intentions really weren't honestly, it was really just the fuck. And the one before that, I genuinely felt like we could be friends, but she suffered from some of the same things I suffered. And she's been very vocal about it on her social media. And I'm actually proud of, you know, her finding herself and getting through that, she was always a super dope person to me. So from that aspect, I will say that I can understand being friends because I've never wanted like, oh damn, I wonder could we get back? No. It's always been like I'm rooting for this person because I saw parts of her that were funny, sweet, and she was just one of the overall dopest people I've ever come into contact with. So I always root for her. She's
That
actually, I
part.
think she was in Florida now. So I don't really wouldn't have a chance to come into contact with her, but I think she's a super dope person. So there's no romantic feelings there. But my ex, the one, there's
That,
no
that
way we could be friends. Out of respect to, and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be able to control myself because over these past, 6 months, I've had to, I won't say bury that, but I've had to accept it for what it was and that I messed it up and I'm past it. I've had to live with
are
it
you
in order
sure
to
you
grow as
passed
a
it?
person.
Sound like you possibly still beating yourself up about the fact that you, you messed something up. It's kind of like when people have that feeling where
Hmm.
you you kind of lost that one where it's just like, ah,
Yeah.
that was my
Yeah.
one. I messed up and I lost my.
Hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like you're still beating yourself up about it.
Well,
Um,
it's more so being able to talk about it. I haven't been able to talk about it, and I think just getting it out on this episode, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm beating myself up about it. I will say that it's just new being in this kind of setting to where is that I am able to talk about it and be open about it. But there's no wanting to, look back at the past. It's only just moving forward and having to admit those things. Being able to admit those things have made it easier to accept them and move on. So even though I'm not looking for a relationship right now, I definitely am hopeful for the future that I am a better man because of it. And I know things that I can't do in a relationship and have, the wrong foundation and try to build something. So I'm hopeful, but we'll see.
stay hopeful because you just never know. It's
Yep.
never too late.
So yeah, and true, true, true. With that being said, I think that now is a good stopping point. We did talk about a lot of heavy stuff. We went in a lot into our past. So I think that now is a good stopping point. What I do want to say is thank you for listening to us. We will continue this series on the Kicking It podcast off the clock session. So we will have another episode uploaded after this soon. So stay on the lookout and hope that everyone has a good night. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you later. We are out.
Bye.